Welcome to this explainer. Today we are diving into an absolute medical mystery. And the incredible thing is, it's unfolding right inside your own body at this very second. Right now, as you're listening to this, billions of your cells are dying. Literally billions of them. But here's the catch. They aren't dying from some disease. They're not dying from an injury or physical trauma. They are dying on purpose. It's this massive, highly coordinated daily event. And for decades, scientists thought they had it all figured out. They thought they understood exactly how and why this happens. Well, a stunning new discovery has pretty much flipped our entire understanding of biology upside down. Okay, let's dive into Section 1, The Secret of Dying Cells. To really grasp the weight of this breakthrough, we first need to establish what scientists originally assumed was happening. That purposeful cell death I just mentioned, it's called apoptosis. It's an absolutely essential process that happens billions of times a day. Without apoptosis, your body just can't renew itself, it can't get rid of damaged cells, and it definitely can't prevent things like cancer. The old thinking went like this. When a cell is scheduled to die, it sends out these chemical find me and eat me signals, basically waving a microscopic flag so the immune system comes over and cleans up the debris before it can cause inflammation. It was always viewed as a very tidy, straightforward, and well-understood system. But here is where the paradigm entirely shifts. For years, the assumption was that dying cells simply broke down quietly and randomly, just fading away with very little impact on their environment. But the new reality, which was mapped out by researchers at Trobe University in Australia, is staggering. These dying cells don't just vanish. They deliberately leave behind a physical mark, a literal footprint on the exact spot where they lived and died. Which brings us to Section 2, the footprint of death. So how exactly does a dying cell leave a mark? Well, using some incredibly advanced live cell imaging, PhD candidate Stephanie Rutter and Professor Ivan Poon's lab watched cells undergo apoptosis frame by frame, and they uncovered this wild three-step process. Step 1, the cell drastically changes shape and contracts. Step 2, it actually detaches and lifts its body completely away from the surface it was anchored to. And Step 3, this is the truly mind-blowing part. As it lifts away, it leaves a thin residue anchored directly to that spot. It's a physical trace of its existence. So the crucial point is, what exactly is inside this footprint? The research team discovered a completely unknown type of extracellular vesicles, which they named F-ApoEVs. Now, usually, most vesicles in the body act like microscopic envelopes, floating away to carry messages to other areas. But these F-ApoEVs are different. They stay put. They act as an anchored breadcrumb trail, remaining exactly at the site of death to guide the immune cleanup cells in with absolute pinpoint precision. It's honestly an incredibly elegant biological system. As the lead researcher Georgia Atkins-Smith so perfectly described it, dying cells can continue to communicate from the grave. This communication system is hardwired directly into the very act of dying, making sure the immune system knows exactly where to go to maintain the health of your body. But of course, there's a dark side. Let's look at Section 3, the viral Trojan horse. Every elegant system has a vulnerability, right? Naturally, researchers started to wonder about the implications of this footprint process during a viral infection. I want you to think about this question for a second. What happens when the dying cell is infected with the flu? We know the influenza virus kills host cells. That's a big part of how it damages your body. So, if a flu-infected cell undergoes this apoptosis process, what exactly is it leaving behind in its footprint? What the team found when they looked closer stopped them cold. Atkins-Smith and Poon realized that, and I quote, viral particles may hide in this dying cell footprint, using it as a Trojan horse to spread and infect other cells. Let that sink in. The flu virus isn't just killing your cells, it is literally hiding out inside these newly discovered F-ApoEV footprints. And this brilliantly illustrates how the virus completely hijacks our own cleanup system. The devastating logic unfolds like this. First, the influenza virus kills the host cell. Second, that dying cell goes through apoptosis and leaves its anchored footprint. Third, the viral particles actually hide inside those F-ApoEV vesicles. Fourth, your own immune cells arrive, blindly following the breadcrumbs, and ingest the vesicles for cleanup. And finally, the immune system itself unknowingly spreads the virus to new cells. The virus has taken the body's own communication and protection mechanism and turned it into a deadly delivery vehicle. And the craziest part? This has likely been happening inside human bodies every single flu season throughout history, completely undetected until right now. Which leads us to Section 4, Rewriting Medical Science. Discovering an invisible process that's been operating right beneath our noses for millennia doesn't just solve a neat biological mystery. It fundamentally changes the future of medicine across multiple disciplines. This single cellular discovery maps out onto some of the most challenging diseases we face today. Take autoimmune conditions like lupus, for example. Improper clearance of dead cell debris is what causes the immune system to mistakenly attack healthy tissue. These footprint vesicles are critical to getting that proper clearance. For cancer, the disease thrives because cells essentially refuse to die. Understanding the normal death mechanics gives us entirely new therapeutic targets. And for infectious diseases, as we just saw, viruses like influenza actively hijack these exact footprint vesicles to spread completely under the radar. This is exactly why this research is generating so much excitement. Professor Ivan Poon notes, understanding this basic biological process could open new avenues of research to develop new treatments that harness these steps. Knowing this pathway exists gives scientists a completely new angle of attack. We can now look for ways to intercept this viral spread, or even fix the cleanup system in autoimmune patients simply because we finally know what to look for. Ultimately, the gravity of this whole explainer comes down to this. The footprint is a map of where disease travels next. This microscopic trace, left behind by billions of dying cells every single day, holds the key to tracking, understanding, and potentially stopping some of our most devastating diseases right in their tracks. We used to think programmed cell death was just the end of the story, a quiet, random vanishing act. But death, it turns out, is not silent. These cells are leaving us a message, a glowing map of their final moments. Now that we can finally read it, the question is, how will we use it to save the lives of the cells that remain? If this explainer changed how you think about the hidden, extraordinary science happening inside your own body right now, make sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more fascinating science coming your way. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.